Yo, what up? It's your boy Mac TheWiseSole, and this is another episode of the Gold Standard NBA All-Star Weekend recap. We're gonna get into everything, the game itself, the events over the weekend, how the Bay Area held it down. Also, sneakerheads, you had an amazing weekend out here in the Bay. We'll get into all that on this next episode of the Gold Standard. Let's get it! Yo, what up? So, again, NBA All-Star Weekend went down this past weekend, and there was some hits and some misses when it comes to the event itself, which is the All-Star game, which everything was supposedly centered around. But it didn't feel like everything was really centered around that. But I digress. We'll get into other things also. Sneakerheads, like I said earlier, what a weekend for you. There were early releases of the Galaxy Foam Posits, the Nike SB4s. There was a lot of good things happening for sneakerheads out there. So if you're a sneakerhead and you were in the Bay Area, you took the time to get to the Bay and deal with the traffic going into the city, you probably were rewarded this weekend. Jordan Brand had a pop-up shop in Oakland, which was amazing. A lot of people got a lot of early heat. White cement 4s, flu game 12s, again, the Nike SB4s, like I just mentioned. There was some good heat that dropped. So hopefully those of you that were out there braved the elements. It wasn't really the elements because the weather was pretty good except for Thursday night when it first started going down. It rained a little bit. But other than that, the weekend was beautiful. Sneakerheads, man. Hey, if you copped a pair during All-Star Weekend, let me know in the comments below. What pair did you get? Are you enjoying your pair? The white cement 4s, I'm definitely copping those when they drop. The flu game 12s, I got my flu games from 2016. They're still in good shape. I might not double back and get that. But we'll see. We'll see. You know, I always say that, and then I'll usually go ahead and cop a pair. So we'll see how that goes. But let's get into NBA All-Star Weekend, or what they called NBA All-Star Weekend. First, we had the celebrity game that was held in Oakland at Oracle Arena, and that was a vibe, man. That was really a vibe. It was good to see Oracle back in the spotlight, hosting fans for an actual basketball game. Also, there they held the practice for the All-Star teams at Oracle, and you can tell Steph, he got emotional talking about, there should be more games at Oracle, maybe not necessarily a preseason game. They'll probably do something for Steph Curry at Oracle in his final season. The Warriors will probably run a game there, maybe two, who knows. Definitely in the preseason, but when that final season comes, they'll definitely run some things there. So the celebrity game, I'm going to be honest with you. The celebrity game has, just like the All-Star game itself, it's steadily just going down. And it's low-key unfortunate because there are not really that many celebrities anymore that play in these games. I mean, back in the day, you used to have actual celebrities that you really know and you saw a lot. But that could just be with people getting older, me getting older. There was a lot of streamers and everything. The Kai Cenats, those type of people were the celebrities nowadays. And Kai is huge. Don't get me wrong. Kai is big time. He's one of them dudes. But outside of Kai, you had Baron Davis. There wasn't really a lot of celebrities. Coach Bonds, Jerry Rice, the coaches for the teams. I think we got to get more celebrities back in the celebrity games to play against the streamers and the YouTubers and so forth. That would probably be a fun matchup. But it looked like everything went well out there. It looks like a lot of fun was had. But again, I don't even remember dude's name who was the MVP. I think he was in Raising Dion and one of the Chicago shows on ABC. I don't know. I don't really know, dude, but he balled out pretty well. I mean, there was, some good items and things that he did, Messiah Russell, track and field, she was there. It was a solid group, but it ain't the same that it was 10 years ago. But it was good that the city of Oakland was able to host that event. One great thing about this All-Star weekend, it was a Bay Area collective hosting. So you had events in San Francisco, you had events in Oakland. As those of you know, the Warriors were playing in Oakland um until what, 4 years ago, 3 4 years ago, when Chase Center finally opened up and they moved the Warriors back to San Francisco. A lot of people didn't like that, but they stayed in the Bay Area, so I didn't really care. San Francisco, Oakland, they're still called Golden State, so that's really all that matters. So a lot of people, were bothered by that, but Oakland did its thing and held its part of the bargain when it came to hosting events at Oracle for All-Star Weekend. Now, All-Star Saturday night. Man, All-Star Saturday night. It was a night. The Rising Stars, the night before, it was whatever. But the skills challenge, 3-point shootout, dunk contest, All-Star Saturday night used to be almost the main event for NBA All-Star Weekend, and it's also gone down. Like it's gone down as well. But let's kind of go over that. So the skills challenge, Chris Paul and Victor Wembanyama were disqualified in the first round. Chris Paul, being Chris Paul, he was trying to cheat. I'm going to just leave it at that. Chris Paul tried to cheat when it came to shooting the three-pointer, the free throw, and the other three-point corner three shot. They just threw the ball toward the hoop. They didn't really take real shots, and they were going for time. And that's why they got disqualified. There was some booing from the audience and the crowd there. They tried to interview Chris Paul, but the NBA stepped in and was like, yo, shut this down. They're not getting interviewed. I thought it would have been fun to find out what was going through CP3's mind, Victor Wembanyama's mind. Obviously, they were going for the faster time. Didn't work out. The skills challenge. I mean, the skills challenge can be better because what they're really doing, I mean, a couple passes, they're not even really dribbling a lot because they dribble half court and then they're passing the ball off. They can probably improve that game or that event in the future. We'll see. People talk about a one-on-one tournament. Maybe that replaces the skills challenge or one of these other contests, but we'll get into that also. The winner of the skills challenge, the Cleveland Cavaliers, beat the Golden State Warriors. Draymond Green fumbled the bag for the Warriors by not being able to create or complete a half-court pass. It took him like 3 opportunities. By then, the clock ran out after Moses Moody had a beautiful first leg. Draymond, being Draymond, he blew it for the Warriors and allowed Cleveland. It was I believe it was Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell to beat the Warriors and win the skills challenge for All-Star Weekend. Then we had the 3-point shootout. Now, you would think, seeing as the game or the weekend is in San Francisco, the greatest shooter of all time, Steph Curry, would have participated in this event. Unfortunately, he didn't. It seemed like there was going to be an event similar to last year's All-Star game when he was going to be in a 3-point shootout with one of the WNBA stars. Apparently, those WNBA players decided not to participate. So Steph did not actually have an event to participate in this year, which was very unfortunate. NBA, do better. Steph should have been doing something this weekend besides just hosting. I mean, I guess he's the host. It's his event or his city. That works too, but it would have been good to see Steph in the 3-point shootout. But nevertheless, Dame Lillard, Dame Dollar, Dame time. He was going for the three-peat as 3-point champion. And like the Kansas City Chiefs, Dame Lillard was not successful. He was beaten. He didn't even get to the championship round. He got beaten the first round. Tyler Hero is your new 3-point shooting champion for the NBA. Now, hey, he did his thing. He ended up beating Buddy Hield by 1 point. I want to say it was 24-23, something like that. It was a close game. Buddy Hield had a chance to win it at the end if he would have hit all his money shots on his last rack. And Warrior fans knew Buddy Hield was going to trick that off. I had a feeling. I was tweeting it out on Twitter. Speaking of Twitter, follow me on the socials below, TheWiseSole. You can catch me there. Buddy Hield, I knew he was going to trick that off. As a fan of the Warriors, I was kind of trying to believe in him at the end when he got to that last rack, but I knew it. I knew he was going to do it. I knew he was going to blow it, but he did. Shout out to Tyler Hero and being the new three-point shooting champion. In the main event, NBA All-Star Saturday night, the main event, the dunk contest. And I know, a lot of people are going to say the dunk contest is sleep. It's over. People just aren't doing what they're supposed to do in the dunk contest. But the NBA got Mac McClung back in it, and he three-peated. Unlike Dame Lillard, unlike Patrick Mahomes, Mac McClung got it done and defended his championship in the dunk contest. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. Mac had some amazing dunks, man. We joke about, he's not really an NBA player. Why is he in the NBA dunk contest? Whatever you want to say, if he's a G leaguer, whatever, dude can dunk. When he jumped over the Kia, keep in mind, he jumped over the roof of the Kia, not the hood like Blake Griffin did a few years back. My man jumped over the hood the roof of the Kia. That's crazy. And he had a lot of clearance on that too, man. He had a lot of clearance. I want to say Mac ended up with 4 50s. So he got a 50 in every round. He ended up defeating Stephon Castle of the San Antonio Spurs. Let me say this. Stephon Castle got hosed on a lot of his dunks. There was a couple dunks. I want to say his first round dunk, and I want to say his second dunk in the first round also. Those should have been 50s. The first dunk for sure. It was tough because he was the first competitor of the night, but he should have got a 50 on that, man. That dunk was crazy. He was dunking with power. The kid can get up. Stephon Castle is going to be a problem in the future. So, I hate that he got hosed like that. But to be honest, Mac McClung deserved to win that. He put on an amazing show. Will he go for the four-peat? He said he kind of thinks he might be done with the dunk contest. And if he is, man, focus on getting your game right so you can get some NBA minutes, man. Because I want to say Mac's only played like 5-6 NBA games, and he's a 3-time NBA dunk champion. Get your game right, man. I know you got the skill set to stick in the league somewhere. Be a backup role player. You have the ability, but hey, if you don't, LA next year in 2026, defend your title. And speaking of LA in 2026, Ja Morant, Aaron Gordon. I don't know, man. You guys are talking about you guys want to enter the dunk contest. Now, look, we've heard this before from NBA players. LeBron James, back in, 2007, 2008, he said he was going to enter the dunk contest the next year. He didn't do it. We haven't seen that happen, and they're trying to blame LeBron for killing the dunk contest. It's not that. LeBron just don't have the dunk package to be a dunk contest winner. Like, he don't have that kind of skill set. Not that he don't, dunk hard and all that. He's not going to be 360 in and all that. He just didn't have he didn't have that bag. And it's similar to players like Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is a great, amazing in-game dunker, but dunk contest, probably not. Probably not. And he even said that so himself. But the Ja Morants, Zach LaVine's, he want to come back, Aaron Gordon's, and Zion Williamson. Zion has the bag to compete in the dunk contest. If he can stay healthy, maybe we'll get that. But again, congratulations to Mac McClung for winning the 2025 dunk contest. Now, the All-Star game itself. The All-Star game itself. I didn't like the format. I told you guys this before. The format of playing or dividing the NBA All-Stars up into 3 teams and then one team being the rising stars of the league. I didn't like that. Draymond had this whole thing that the rising stars shouldn't be on the court with the NBA players on All-Star Sunday. And to be honest, he's not lying. He's not lying. I mean, those rising stars, outside of Amen Thompson, Keontae George, there might be two to three players that one day might be actual NBA All-Stars, but right now they're definitely not. So they shouldn't have been participating in All-Star Sunday. That kind of bothered me, the format itself. I hope the NBA gets rid of that. To be honest with you, I hope they do. A lot of people are saying it's the players' fault for allowing this to even happen because of how they've played All-Star games in the past. Similar to the NFL just scrapped their Pro Bowl and now they play flag football. Hopefully the NBA gets it together. The big news about this All-Star Sunday night, LeBron James, one of the faces of the NBA, decided he was not going to play in the All-Star game. He wasn't even out here in the Bay until Sunday, and he didn't announce it until like an hour before the game was about to start that he will not be participating. A lot of fans didn't like that because they felt like players like Norman Powell, Domantas Sabonis were snubbed as replacements because LeBron didn't announce anything earlier. I don't know what LeBron's plans were. I don't know if he was going to try to, rest up and see what happens come tip-off time and go from there. It just didn't happen. It was a bad look for the weekend, a bad look for the league. Somebody who is one of the faces of your league to not participate in the All-Star game. Again, he was injured. If he says he's hurt, he's hurt. That's what it is. Also not participating, we had Giannis, but Giannis was out here all weekend being a good ambassador of the game. Anthony Edwards, he also didn't play in the All-Star game. He didn't announce it until maybe a few minutes before tip-off, but he was out here all weekend. He participated in the events. He was out there, and he was at least in uniform for a while. Like, LeBron, put the uniform on, my God. You could have at least done that. But again, if you say you were hurt, you were hurt. But the game itself, man, the game itself was sleep. It was sleep. The crowd felt like they were just tired. They were bored. It was a lot of breaks, commercials, in between games. They were only playing a 40-point. It's too low of a number. It's too low of a number to have 3 games going on, or what was it, 4 games? Oh, 3 games that happened, 40 points. In basketball, especially all-star games, 40 points comes real quick and it happens fast. And that's what happened in this event, man. The rising stars, they lost to the OGs in the first round. Steph Curry did his thing. We'll talk about that in a second. He got past the rising stars. Now, that would have been a problem. Had Steph Curry got bounced out in the first round of his All-Star weekend at home in San Francisco, it would have been a riot. Oh, it would have been a problem. It would have been a problem. But luckily, he didn't. Made it to the championship game. In the championship game, Steph did his thing. He had a couple turnovers. I ain't gonna hold you. He had a couple little turnovers. But he was lighting it up from downtown, shooting threes. He brought the most excitement of the evening. Outside of all the distractions, it was cool to see the TNT crew get their love. The Bay Area music scene, that was the best part of the weekend. E40, Too Short, giving love. They got to see the love. Lil Russell performed on, Saturday night. That's the kind of love you want to see. I'll tell you what we don't want to see again. Jello. Look, Jello, Tweaker. It's a cool little song, my guy. But you got to work on your performance, man. You should not be on a stage that big performing like you performed. Tweaker was terrible, man. Jello, hey, man, get better. I'm not saying you're not going to get better, but get better. But E40 held it down. Too Short held it down. Saweetie had a little performance. The Bay Area showed out. Raphael Sadiq. I was so proud of the Bay, man. They even brought back In Vogue. It was a lot of great things happening for the Bay music-wise. Getting the light shined on them during All-Star Weekend. And finally, Steph Curry winning All-Star Game, the Kobe Bryant MVP trophy. That was great for him. His second MVP trophy in the All-Star Game. His first one was in 2022. Keep in mind, when he won that MVP there, he also went on to win the NBA championship. And I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I'm also not saying it's not. in 2025. Steph Curry and the Warriors, come playoff time, they might be a problem. And look, you can hate and say whatever you want to about Wise right now. Hey, you're delusional, you're crazy, whatever. So what? They might be a problem come playoff time. We'll get into the second half of the season in another episode. But All-Star Weekend again, shout out to the Bay Area. Shout out to San Francisco and LA. I hope you have a great All-Star Weekend next year. NBA, change the format. Just East versus West. That's all we need. We don't need no drafting of teams. We don't need anything else. Eastern Conference versus Western Conference All-Stars. Let's get this right. Hopefully the players lock in a little bit more. I don't expect y'all to go full playoff mode, but at least give some effort, man. The fans deserve it. The league deserves it. Everything that came before you, show respect to it, man. You know, that's all we want to see as fans of basketball. So, hey, until the next episode, thanks for tapping in with your boy Mac TheWiseSole. This has been the Gold Standard, your home for sneakers and sports. Don't forget, follow, subscribe, hit the button below. You can follow me on all the socials down below. I enjoy doing this with you guys. We'll talk about things in the next episode, second half of the NBA season. More sneaker releases coming out. February has been crazy. And the Galaxy phones drop officially this weekend. Oh, your boys got to get a pair. At least a pair. I might need two. So in the Galaxy phones is 13. You got to connect. Send it to your boy, man. I deserve it, man. I deserve it. I'm doing this for you guys. Again, it's your boy Mac TheWiseSole. This is the Gold Standard. I'll see you in the next episode.